Welcome back again. We're still on activity 1, tutorial questions. We have done question 1. We skip question 2 for letter, and we are on question 3. In question 3, we have done the total basic time, we've calculated the element basic time, and now we need to calculate the total representative basic time, the allowances, and the standard time, allowed time in standard time hours. Remember, I said in this activity, the allowances is given in this form. The basic time, the observed time, is given in this form. So since our allowances are given, we are gonna go to our final sheet, which is the time study summary sheet. All right. So we're gonna go to our sheet here. All right. For us to fill this table, we need to take into consideration um, the time study analysis sheet. And remember, before filling the time study analysis sheet, we took into consideration the time study observation sheet. All right. So for us to fill the time study, the first part of it, how many elements we have? We have element 1, 2, element 6. All right. In this case, we don't have to worry about the element description unless it is given in a case of a form, in a case of a case study. All right. So we're gonna go right ahead to our element basic time. And our element basic time, we found them here. Element basic time in our time study analysis sheet. The only thing we're gonna do is just fill in the form. All right. So the first one, we have the first element. Um, we have 39.66. We are just gonna put it right there. 39.66. The second one, we have 40.75. We have 40.75. The third one, we have 45.17. We have 45.17 right here. The fourth one, we have 46.54. We have 46.54. All right. This fifth one, we have 45.74. We have 45.74 right here. And the last one, we have 43.39, which is this one, 43.39. Our volume handled, in this case, we're just gonna put 1 everywhere because it was repeated once. And frequency, how many times did element 1 appeared in all of the 5 circles? So it appeared 5 times out of 5. How do we know that? We go back here and we make sure element 1, we had element 1, we had element 1, we had element 1 filled, and so on. So it appeared 5 out of 5 in all of the 5 cycles. And that's how you go about filling your frequency column. Element 2 also appeared everywhere. Element 3, sorry, also it appeared 5 times out of the 5 cycles. Element 4, it also appeared 5 times out of 5 cycles. And element 6, let's go back and verify. We did not have element 6 in our first cycle, but element 6 appeared in our second cycle, third cycle, fourth cycle, and fifth cycle. So we're gonna say element 6 appeared 4 times out of 5. Alright, and for us to find our element representative basic time, which is being asked here, total representative basic time, right? we are just gonna do 39, which gonna be, because if you take 5 divide by 5, it gives you 1. So 39.66, you multiply it by 1 here, it should give you the same number, which here gonna be 39.66. Here again it's gonna be 40.75. Here it's gonna be 45.117. Here it's gonna be 46.154. And here we're gonna do this is element 6. For element 6 appeared 4 out of 5. Element 5 appeared 5 out of 5. Sorry, so it's gonna be 45 plus 74. And element 6 here, which is the last one, it's gonna be 43.39 divided by 4 multiplied by 4. Sorry, you divide by 5, which it should give you 34.71. Right, and our total representative time, you're gonna have to add all of these amounts here, and it should give you 252.57. Alright, now we need to find our allowances. Personal need allowances. We need to verify here. Do we have any personal need allowances here? No. Personal need allowances, it wasn't given to us in this activity. So we are just gonna leave it empty, or we can fill it with a 0. Fatigue allowances. In this case here, fatigue allowances, it says 3%. So fatigue allowances, we already have 3% here, and it is always wise and advisable for you to fill this allowances which is given to you before calculating the calculations that appear in the analysis form, so that you play it on the safe side. Alright, so it's going to be 3% of your total representative basic time. It's going to be 3% of 252.57. So for us to find the 3%, we know how to find the 3% of 252, 252.57. It's gonna give us 7.58. 7.58. And that is the 3% of 252.57. Alright, if for example we were given personal need allowance of 2%, for example 2%, we were gonna do 2% of 252.157. You write down there, and we find also the 3% of 252.157, and you write it down there. But in this case, we were not given the personal need allowance. And for you to get your rest allowance, it's gonna be 0 plus 7.54, which in this case still give us 7.58, and that's how you get your rest allowance. Basic work content, it's the sum of your total representative basic time plus your personal need allowance plus your fatigue allowance, which should give you 260.15. 260.15. So it's 252 plus 57 plus 7.58, and it shall give you 260.15. and we carry on with the rest. Work contingency allowance, it was given to us, right? Work contingency, which is 2.3%. And we have it here, work contingency allowance 2.3%. 2.3% of what? 2.3% of 260.15, which should give you 5.98. Again, tool maintenance allowance in this particular activity, it is not given to us, and we can fill it as 0. And your working allowance is the sum of your work contingency allowance plus your tool maintenance allowance, which in this case still at 5.98. I hope we stop together how I'm going slow enough, and I hope you guys understand. If you have any question, please do not hesitate to contact me, your lecturer, or one of your tutors. Alright, then we can carry on. Then you will be asked to calculate your total basic work content. Your total basic work content is just gonna be your basic work content plus your working allowance, which should give you 266.13. Alright, your delay allowance, in this case, we were given a delay allowance, yes, delay allowance of 1.5%. And 1.5% of 266, 1.5% of 266, which should give you 4.00. Occupied time, we are not dealing with that. We are not dealing with this section for this year. Unoccupied time allowance, we are not dealing with that section during this year. Your standard time should be your delay allowance plus your total basic work content, which should give you 270.13. We are given a 2% of policy allowance. We were given a policy allowance, yes, policy allowance of 2%. I am going to repeat this again. In these particular activities, these allowances are just listed. In other different activity, the allowances might be given in the form of a case study. You need to find them. You need to locate them in the forms. And you do not have to worry, the forms will be given to you at your test. You just need to fill up the forms. Right. The policy allowance, it was given to us at 2%. We have 2% of 270.13, which is 5.40. 5.40. And we have our allowed time, which is gonna be 5.40 plus 270.13, which is our standard time, and we're gonna have an allowed time of 275.53. Remember, all this here are in second. Now we just need to convert this. 275.53 in second, it gives us, in minute, it gives us 4.50. 4.50 in second, in minute, this should be hours, in hours. should give you 0.075 hours. Right, and that is the final on how to fill your time study analysis sheet. Now